Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing with you how to cut this stylish monostrap princess dart asymmetric blouse. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So to start, here is my pattern and I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurements, which includes my shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, and I added 7 inches for my blouse. So after I'm done marking this right, I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2. Now I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and after that I'll go ahead to place my ruler and draw out a slanted line going towards the upper part of my pattern. Next, you're going to find your chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Mine is 7 inches. I made a mark at that point and I'll go ahead to draw out a straight line. After marking that, I'll place back my tape, and what I have at the shoulder, I'll go ahead to mark. Now, I'll place my ruler and connect. I'll be dividing what I have here into 2 and mark. From this point, I'll come in by ½ inch, go down and mark my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll place my ruler, connect to my bust circumference and to the upper part. So after I'm done marking that, I'll use my marker to outline. And the next step I'll take is to start marking my dart. To mark my dart, I'll mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5. So I went ahead to mark it from the bust to the under bust and to the blouse length. Next, I'll go ahead to extend it to my bust and I'll draw out a straight line. After that, I'll be marking my dart intake. I'll go ahead to mark ½ inch in front and 1.5 at the other side. So if you're a plus size, you should be marking 1 inch at the front and 2 inches at the side. Now I'll go ahead to connect this all the way from the waist down to the top length. So after this, I'll go ahead and divide my armhole into 2 and mark. So I'll connect down to my bust point this way, and after I'm done connecting, I'll mark ½ inch on both sides and go ahead to reconnect down to that initial line. After I'm done connecting, that 1 inch, I'll go out by 1 inch by the side of my armhole and I'll reconnect it. Then I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline my pattern. The next step is to insert your body measurements. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Then measure the dart intake here, replace and add my sewing allowance. My bust is 33 divided by 4. I have 8.3. I'll mark my under bust circumference divided by 4. Measure the dart intake, replace and add my sewing allowance. My waist and under bust is the same measurement, which is 28 inches. And dividing 28 inches by 4, you're going to have 7 inches, which I'll also replace the dart intake and add it back. I'll go ahead and insert my hip circumference divided by 4 at the blouse length. Replace the 2 inches dart intake and add my sewing allowance to the pattern. After that, I'll place my ruler and I'm going to go ahead to connect my pattern. So when I was connecting, I omitted the under bust area and I'll go ahead to reconnect it and also reconnect to the lower part of the pattern. So now I'll use my marker to outline my pattern. And the next step now is to go ahead to mark my bust dart. And to get your bust dart is the distance between your shoulder to waist in front and your shoulder to waist at the back. My shoulder to waist in front is 17 inches. My shoulder to waist at the back is 15.5 inches. So all these measurements we marked out here, we're going to go ahead and also remark it at the other side of your pattern. So now what you need to take note is the center of your pattern. So here's the center of my pattern and I'll go ahead to rule out a straight line at this point. After rolling it out from the center, measure 3 inches to the side and mark. Now you're going to go ahead to come up at the side and then you're going to slant it to the other side. So go ahead to blend in your armhole very well and after blending it, you're going to mark going upwards. So while marking, you want to make sure that you blend in this part before drawing out your monostrap sleeve. Now I'll place my curve through and I'll go ahead to connect. After I'm done connecting, this is what I have. I'll go in with my marker and I'm going to go ahead to outline this. After I'm done outlining this, so I'll go ahead at this shoulder part. I'll go out by 1.5 inches here and measure about 2 inches. Now I'll go ahead to reconnect this side. I'll go down a bit by 3.5 inches or 3 inches and I'll connect. Going down towards the center this way, and after you're done connecting, you're going to start connecting at the other side also. So I'll just go ahead and blend out this side and I'll go ahead to connect this all the way to the other side. So after I'm done connecting, I'm going to outline this and we are done with the upper part of the pattern. So from this part, I'll come down at least by 2.5 or 3 inches at the center and I will connect. So while connecting at the center, if you don't want to connect to have this pointy tip, you can go out by 1 inch. That is actually what is on the pattern, but I've already connected mine before cutting out the pattern. So now what you also do by the side is to come down by 3 inches and you're going to connect all the way down to your pattern, and also repeat this at the other side. Now make a dot to indicate the button there, and after this we are done cutting the front pattern and I'll go ahead to cut this out. Remember also to blend out your dart by the side. So at this point, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, leave your comment at the comment section, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and also leave it at the comment section. So after we are done cutting this, we'll be heading over to the back pattern, which will also be cutting out. So after cutting, this is what I have. So for the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out all the basic measurements. The only difference between the back and the front pattern is the zipper, and the shoulder to waist at the back is 15.5. After that, I still added 7 inches for the length of the dress. Next, you go ahead and mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2, just like we did for the front pattern also. I'll place my ruler and I'll connect, drawing out a straight line. So sorry for the double line that I have there. So after this, I'll go ahead and connect. After I'm done connecting, I'll be marking a dart intake of 1/2 inch on both sides, and after marking this, I'll place my ruler and I'm going to connect. After I'm done connecting my dart, I'll come down by 1 inch at the upper part of this pattern and I'm going to go ahead to connect the dart for the upper part. So after I'm done marking the dart, the next step is to insert my measurement. For the bust, I'm going to be marking my bust circumference divided by 4, which is 33 divided by 4. I have 8.3, and all this measurement is starting after the zipper. For the waist, I'll mark my waist circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake, replace and add my sewing allowance. At the blouse length, I'll mark my hip circumference divided by 4 here, and after marking that, I'll go ahead to measure the dart and add my sewing allowance. So go ahead to make use of any sewing allowance of your choice. So because I'm just drafting it out, I'm making use of 1/2 inch. From my waistline, I went down by 3 inches and I'll go ahead to place and I will connect. After I'm done connecting, I'll extend it to the zipper. Next step is you want to go ahead to take out the bulginess at the zipper of your dress, that is at the zipper area. But before that, I'll divide my armhole into 2 and connect to create that princess dart effect at the back, and before we go ahead to cut out the monostrap at the side at the back of this dress. Now to get rid of the bulginess at the back of the dress, I'll mark 1/2 inch here. Go ahead to place my ruler and I'm going to extend, drawing a line towards the upper part of the dress and then extend it to the lower part of the dress. So after this, I'll go ahead to cut out my pattern, and then we'll be introducing the front part of this pattern to cut the monostrap at the back, because what you have at the back must match with what you have at the front part of your dress also. So here now, this is the front pattern and I'm placing it. So what I need actually is this side. So I'll mark 3 inches at the neckline. Go ahead to mark this side out, but before marking out, you have to blend in your dart so that the sides will be matching. So I blended my dart and I'll place back my pattern and reconnect the armhole of my dress. After this, at the zipper side, I'll draw out a straight line so that the zipper side won't be slanted, and connect the 3 inches neckline I marked at that point. So this is what I have, and I'll go ahead to cut out. So with this, I'm done cutting out the back pattern, and I'll just go ahead to cut out the dart. So for the dart area that you cut out, make sure you add ½ inch to join it back to your dress. And with this, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. See you in our next video. Thanks.